Hello, everyone. This is Judy Alter, the Optimistic BA. And with me today is Jamie Champagne. And Jamie marks the 10th and final interview in my series of the top 10 BAs on LinkedIn that I started last year. And then my health put a little stop to it. So I'm finally finished. And then we will have all 10. So, Jamie, I first saw, I don't believe we met, but I saw Jamie at BBC 2014. It was my first BBC in Fort Lauderdale. And then a couple years later, we were both on the IIBA's leadership series team. And when they first asked me, I think at least Kevin, maybe some of them, had made the mistake that they thought that I was a seasoned speaker. I was not. I barely could operate PowerPoint. And Jamie was one of two team members who really helped me a lot with not cluttering up slides and different things like that. And they were very patient with me. So I guess you could say that she was in on it at the beginning. And since then, we've become pretty good friends. And a fun fact about Jamie, when she's training, she will maybe tell people the story about the shark bite on her leg. And sometimes you get to see the scar. So, Jamie, do you want to say a few more words? I'm sure I missed something.
Well, I'll start off with aloha. Yes,
okay.
I'm in Hawaii. Yes, there is a shark bite looking scar on my leg. I'll happily share the story of the 9.5-foot paddleboard shark that jumped out and bit me one day. Yes, BAs, we do actually work in the office sometimes here in Hawaii. We aren't totally on the surfboard the whole time. That keyboard, as much as I love PowerPoint and putting those presentations together, it doesn't work very well when the sand gets in the keys and you drop it in the ocean. So, we have to work sometime. But yes, Judy joined us in on the Leadership Fund with IIBA to give more value to the community. And that's where I got to see her. And, it was great. I think that's where I got to see everyone's heart a little bit more, because we all brought our own personality to the table. And so we got to see each other as a person, and yet here we were, not only volunteering for IIBA, having our day jobs and doing that work there. And then on top of it, we decided we're not spending enough time talking about business analysis. Let's then spend more time together to not only plan and put together leadership presentations and items for the community. Then we went out and trained them, to get to be in person at both Calgary and Fort Lauderdale then was a blast. And like you say, that's why you do it, that your colleagues become your friends. You can reach out and share connections.
Exactly.
And if that wasn't enough, we still have the surfboard mobile that Judy sent us once we found out there was a little BA on the way who's 4.5, going on 14, and you better say the half part on that.
Oh, okay.
If you can believe that, not to date ourselves on this relationship here, but we still have it twinkling. We got to have the surfboards hanging around.
Cool.
So that's what's so cool, and then when you reach out, Judy, to say, let's have a conversation, and the fact that put me up there in the tops of anything is always, appreciated. And yes, I'm still pounding out those PowerPoints. Give me a minute. My assistant's really good on. So Jamie, 2-week notice, and she's laughing. She's like, 1 week notice. You're gonna give me something, right? To work with. Yeah, it's minimal viable product. Just spin it around, and
exactly.
Judy, you're workable. You listen. That's one of the things that makes it easy then to work with.
Thank you. Now, I know that you're a consultant, a trainer, a speaker, and are you still an adjunct professor?
Yes, I still sort of on that piece. Yep, absolutely.
Okay. And of course, when I say trainer, you not only train through your company, Champagne collaborations, but you also are a LinkedIn Live trainer. So
LinkedIn Learning. Yep.
LinkedIn Learning, God.
Uh-huh.
I knew I'd get that wrong. So which one is your favorite and why?
Ooh, good question. Probably for me, it's when I do my training live with a group of people. So to be in person and do that, because you get the immediate feedback. I love the idea. Feedback is a gift. What you do with it, of course, is up to you. Whether you keep it, exchange it, return it, save it for the white elephant gift exchange at Christmas time. That feedback is a gift. And you get that in real time when you're on site training. And so through most of my company and that kind of training, and it's really not training, like it's kind of a word, like I love the word workshops, hands-on sessions.
Okay.
You are a participant. You're not an attendee. That how big of an immersive experience can I give you? And I think that's been the fun part to challenge me online, on LinkedIn and other places. Can I give you an experience, that experiential learning versus I love LinkedIn and it's the community, it's the conversation that the courses generate. So it's not like the training themselves are so exciting and invigorating. It's fun. It's challenging to put together things and think about, how would I show this to you? How would I convey it? It makes me, I think, a better trainer and speaker. Yet it's that after effect of those LinkedIn learning trainings, the community that's growing, the questions that come up after, the, hey, I saw this, now what? Or how would you do this? Whereas again, live, to sit there next to you and you and me talk through an item, you go, oh, what about this? I go, oh, I never thought about it that way. And oh, what about this? Let's try this. Let's go see what happens, and to explore together. I think that's where, again, I have a lot more fun.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point. I guess I'm always just used training as a bucket, that covers a lot of different things. But yeah, I agree. And I've learned how to have some interactive time on some of my presentations, which is, I haven't been brave enough to try it till just recently. So we are advancing. Now, what is the most significant business analysis trend in the next 5 years?
For me, I think it's that agility mindset. I know like Fabricio and others will talk about that. It's to me, I've realized how much I always had an agile mindset to go into things and kind of really just be ready for them to change, to expect them to change.
Mm-hmm.
And to still, how do you hold on to the rigors in those things we learned as great business analysis practices, but maybe you feel they're very waterfall, they're very traditional, very plan-based, risk-averse items. Knowing those same techniques are still great techniques, that your skill set's still needed. Yet being comfortable to put them in environments where tomorrow is very uncertain and unknown, where budgetary planning is not known, not given, that how do you work with that? And so that piece for me is that really that feeling of agility, can you build that in? And so that trend is definitely, like I say, the agile, the product owner, those conversations on it. And so to me, probably the second piece on this part is going to be skill sets. That we've always seen the BA role evolve, and the titles of it, like saying there's so many new ones now. They're all flavors of business analysis. This is where I do crack up. The definition of a BA, according to IIBA, is anyone who does business analysis, according to like the items in the Babcock guide. So there's so many jobs technically are business analysts. So that the role is going to evolve, the title is going to be there. So it's like that skill set, that really that's the trend of the analysis skill set and how you connect it to business value. And then that can be a technical role, it can be a strategic role, process improvement, project management, product ownership, pick the flavor. Yeah. And so again, the agility now comes into play. Like you as yourself, can you have that agility to take your career and whatever skill set area, passion, excitement that you like, and that becomes the fun part.
Yep, you're exactly correct. And it's interesting because last year almost all 8 of the BAs answered in a way where they said they expect a huge change in business analysis in the next 5 years. And most of that relates to not everybody's going to be called a business analyst who does business analysis. Now, some people may, with all the Agile I did, my title never changed. And so I'm a firm believer that you need business analysts on an Agile team. Now, I know what the Agile Manifesto says, but, I don't know of anybody who's ever done pure Agile in its purest form. And if they do, I want to have a long chat with them because it's just crazy, And I also believe that, waterfall is still appropriate for certain things. Mm-hmm. And so are the various flavors of Agile or Scrum or Kanban. And I did SAFe, which I refer to as Agile on steroids, because at the speed of light. And unfortunately, I was dealing with new life products as they were being written, and so you can't really install and sell part of a life insurance policy. So maybe there are some things that are better off in a little more orderly fashion, but I do not miss at all 60 to 80 page ridiculous documents that no one ever read.
Well, it's like, the right answer. Which technique do you use? Whichever one works. That's the answer.
Exactly. And what? I just hated having to put together this huge document just because it was on the checklist. I just, if a screen print with some notes on it does the trick, let's do it, So that's just me. I think I was Agile before my time, and I'm sure I frustrated a lot of people. So, what is the one thing on your bucket list that you want to achieve in your profession?
Well, it's funny because the one thing you really, really want, if you get it, then I got to think of something next. And so it's kind of, I'm being agile. Like, what's on the near term, the to do? Like this year, I can tell you this year, but I'm like, I'm thinking about next year, and I'm also thinking about this week. On
okay,
bucket lists. I love being able to engage and interact with the audience. And so on the bucket list is to deliver that storytelling performance, and I'm lucky enough to get to have some keynote opportunities, and I want you to walk away that sense of storytelling. I need to be better at that. That's one of those skill sets the VAs talk about, and really make you connect with a story, yet it's actionable. Like, to me, I want that compelling story. I want that you to feel you really can connect. You can see yourself so that it resonates and takes the message with you. And so, like you say, that piece is like there, like, so the immediate coming up. This year, I'll put it out in the universe because I'm going to get this darn certification. I'm going for my certified speaking professional. So with the National Speakers Association. So I'm reaching out. That one makes the CBAP look easy.
Wow.
Just see, once you've accomplished one thing, you gotta go for the next, Judy. Just it feels hard in the moment, but then you realize, looking back, you're like, that wasn't too bad. I can do anything now. So you gotta have those markers on the list, and so I
absolutely
to me, it's important to be able to share these messages, to be able to communicate these value-adding activities, these people, these teams. I want to be able to share that, and to me, that's the part of giving to the world. On a personal level, I want the business to feel comfortable enough. My husband doesn't feel like he needs to work other than work on my website. So, to be able to have that freedom, because I'm loving this work, that you can see as you walked into the Optimistic BA, you seem to be loving this role of Judy Alter, of doing Judy Alter BA. Is that true?
It is very true. I just need to stay healthy. That's, that's the part I haven't gotten down correctly.
health and happiness, right? If we
Yeah,
can get those two
exactly.
things correct,
That's
you
right.
know, it's like you say, and so weave those things you love doing, that health, happiness, success follows. And so that's the part to where, like you say, they go hand in hand. So for me,
Exactly.
yeah, bucket list, that's what I see upcoming and near term. Yet, I will tell you, people ask me when I first went out on my own, that daring step. Oh my goodness. So like, Judy, what do you plan to do with your business? Are you going to like build it? Are you going to like, franchise it? Are you going to market? Like, people ask me the question. I was like, I just want to do the fun things, and I put a name on it.
Yep.
Like, that was it. I just want to do the fun things. I didn't have a grand plan. And like you said, maybe that makes you me those agilist type, right? We didn't have a full budget, planning, milestone.
No.
I got goals. I got visions.
Yeah.
Let's go that way.
But no, honestly, I still don't have I have in my mind what we're going to do the next few years, but I never did write a real detailed business plan. Maybe I should have. I don't know. I mean, it's been okay, so.
You sold the business case without needing the actual business case written. You did minimal viable product there.
Exactly. I'm still doing minimal viable product, and I changed my mind 100 times the first couple of years, but it was COVID, the first couple of years I did nothing. It isn't true, but I felt like I was a travel agent. All I did was make airplane and hotel reservations and then cancel them when they went virtual or canceled it altogether. So I was thrilled when I could finally go to Orlando last year. That was my first time out of the cage, so to speak.
Awesome.
So yeah, that I hear you. That's and I left my career when I was at the top. I mean, I had it made where I was, but I'd always said I was going to retire early, and I did, so
good for you.
Did exactly what I kept saying. I know they probably thought I was just talking, No, not at all. So, all right. Well, that's good to know. Do you have anything on your personal bucket list? I realize professional and personal, it's all the same, but, some event you want to attend or something, or
we're really enjoying traveling now with my family, with my daughter. So planning some vacations. I think they're still on the bucket list. I've got Galapagos Islands.
Oh wow!
I want to do one of those liveaboards, go out there for like a week and just float around the Galapagos, snorkeling and everything else, and just to see that. I know people always ask me, where you live in Hawaii? Where do you go for vacation?
Yeah, exactly. I go skiing in Washington and Vancouver.
Yeah, you go exploring. So that would be really cool for like kind of the bucket list. But yeah, just to really enjoy the traveling and enjoy the time with my family. Everyone tells me, all those with kids, that the time is very fleeting. So enjoying that as much as I can. But yeah, I think just really to travel in that sense of, like you say, comfort level, to not feel you have to truly do anything, and that you're choosing to do it because you want to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's where, like I say, kind of that epitome to bring both personal and professional together.
Yep. So. I totally agree with that. Could not agree more. That is true. I suppose the next major vacation that we better take is to make it back to Hawaii. We have been to all the islands except Hawaii, but I'm pretty sure that there's a stop in Honolulu this time too. I need to meet that daughter of yours before she's taller than me, which I should leave in the next 5 minutes, maybe. I don't know. But yes, that will be cool. Try to get
we
that
love that
on the list.
And the BA community is always here for you and anyone else watching that needs to ensure they write off their Hawaii trip out here.
Oh yeah.
The Hawaii BAs know how to party, so we will always happily have you.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly correct, for sure. And it looks like, looking at the schedule, that I'm going to see you a bit this fall, though. So
yes.
We seem to be on the same conferences of the circuit. So.
All right.
from what I can tell.
And see, that's what's great is,
Yeah.
these onlines are fun. We share messages online.
Oh, yeah.
And then to put it all together with that person, that space, it
That's,
really is valuable. Like to anyone else, like you say, who sees this, that to connect with them, and even just to start with like the calls like this, like you did.
yeah.
I know it's not the same as in person and getting that
No.
feelings, it is space. And so do you create that space for this great collaborations to happen?
Yep.
I think the conferences, the events, they just naturally set it up for us, that I always feel bad being the last minute Louie, like sneaking into the session because we were so busy having conversations in the hallways and, hey, what do you think about that? I have to think that idea. And we have that space to, to grow and put it out there. So
I
really
hear
excited
you.
about
I missed a couple fairly famous names presentation that I said, I'll be right there. It didn't happen, so that does take place. But you're right about the conversations and the camaraderie. And I know a few people at BBC had said how fabulous it was to be with their second family because they were with the BAs, so that is exciting. And for those of you in the audience, Jamie's 4.5-year-old daughter can also surf. And Jamie is talented enough to be on her surfboard with her camera while her husband safety net for her daughter. So that is really interesting. I would film myself.
Thank you for that. I think that for me, the larger talent right now has been since COVID, we made all her food from scratch. Just my COVID hobby. I'm going to have to ask you this. This will be your question. Everyone got like a COVID hobby or a COVID talent, right? We had picked up something. And mine was we started making her food because we didn't go out to eat,
Oh.
So I'm still making her food. So my COVID talent became how to get toddlers to eat and love vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a daughter who will eat Brussels sprouts, beets, kale, pumpkin. She loves it
Wow.
now. And to keep it up, it's been a little bit of a migrating effect now that she's had some, I hate to say, like restaurant foods. And go, ooh, sugar.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, that first chocolate bar, that's all it takes.
Yes.
Now I know what I need to pack when I come to your house. Oh, here.
Oh boy, the aunties and uncles always get to spoil them, right?
Exactly. Well, the last part of the show is you promoting Jamie and Champagne collaborations. So it's your time to talk about your business or whatever.
Well, thank you, Judy. I mean, because with Champagne collaborations, what we do is we help humans collaborate with technology. We help you use it, have fun with it, and actually apply it for business value. And what I love doing the most is actually making business analysis fun. And so working with amazing collaborators across the world is what we get to do with our consulting, our training work. I love speaking at the events. And that's, in essence, what Champagne Collaboration does. And who we are is we just like to have a good time with it. We like to show you that work can be productive and fun.
Yes.
That you don't have to yell at that poor computer that just told you to reboot in the middle of the session again. That you can't figure out your password. I listened to somebody that just went to a 25-digit password.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, seriously? So, see, as we laugh about it, that's what we want you to do at the workplace. We want you to laugh. We want you to enjoy and have fun with it. And that's what I get to do. So thank you for allowing me to highlight, us. And we love collaborating with others, that if we can help find a niche or if there's services other people do and highlight, that's why I love connecting on LinkedIn to know who's doing what, because there's so many great opportunities out there, like absolutely. I love referrals. Both, if you see ideas that we can help with and if I can help you, like I love to know what everyone's doing. So when you connect with me on LinkedIn, please, for those watching, tell me, what you're great at, what you're passionate, what you love to do, and what you don't like doing. So that when those things come up, that's what we really like doing with the Champagne collaborations, finding opportunities that, here, Judy, you can do this, and you don't have to do any of the PM work. You can only do this piece. And because we have someone over here who loves the project management stuff, and does the reporting and all those things I don't like, will keep me in my box. So having a crew like that, it's a community. It is a ohana, a family across the world. And I think that's so cool.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And in fact, all the time, whenever I present, whatever the subject is that I've been talking about, I always say, if there are anyone in the audience, especially BAs, but other people too, that are not IIBA members, you need to join. Because it's not just the library with 11,000 online titles. It's not the BA Bach and all the certifications and not even the Knowledge Hub. Those are all great. But really, I was taken by surprise when I joined, because I was already like 50 when I joined IIBA. And I wasn't looking for a group of new friends. My gosh, now all the BAs I know all around the world, one of my friends says, you could find out the best restaurant anywhere. And I go, yeah, I guess I could, now that I think about it. But you're right about being such a community, whether it's the speakers or whether it's the BAs or whether it's whoever. We don't compete with each other as much as we help each other and we root for each other. I don't feel that all of us have businesses for the most part. A few work through employers, but it's not like you're going to take away, something from someone else. I remember when I got sick in 21 and I had to stop in the middle of a conference. After I found Amy, Hans jumped in, like 5 minutes before almost, and I knew I had to go to the hospital, and yeah, I was right. But, that's the way the community is. And you don't find that in other occupations. You always think that, oh no, why would she have that person on the show? We all have a slightly different niche, but we all have one thing in mind. And I would not have been half the BA I was had I not joined IIBA, and I wouldn't have known all these wonderful people. And so that's really, when it's all over, that's really what is priceless. Not, oh, did I use this technique or that technique or draw this diagram or not? Not that I can't, but that's the key. And I think that you would agree with me. Now, I am smarter than to take the 10 of what I feel are the greatest BAs on LinkedIn and rank them from 1 to 10. I am not doing that. No. Strictly alphabetical order. But yes, so this does wrap up this series, which has went on far too long. But it's been really good. And it's funny that I finished with you and Angela Wick, two of my good friends. And so that has been exciting. So I guess everyone who is listening to this, which it'll be, probably it'll be last, but after that will come blogs about everything. So, stay tuned. Do you have any other final words or?
No, Judy, you said it very well. Thank you for that. And, this is the seed I hope we plant so that you're having the conversation for the 2024 BAs on LinkedIn, that we plant the seed for the next generation, the next round that challenges us all, that it's just because you're top of the moment. It's one of those things. I got it for all of 10 seconds and then something else changed in this world. So, if we just plant the seeds for more and more growth, I love the saying. I actually got this from another organization, like you say, that those relationships you build. But they said, rather than worrying about which piece of the pie you're getting or how much or size, etc., why don't we all build a bigger pie?
Exactly.
And I love that saying because it's about, it's collaboration, not competition. It's cooperation. And think about it. We probably do greater value working together and building more opportunities.
Yeah.
So just look for those opportunities, because you'll probably plant the seed. And I bet you, Judy, probably attest. One of the things of going to BBCs and these IIBA events is you always seem to come home with more work than when you went there. So remember all those ideas, you come home with a million more to get started. So see, it's growth, it's opportunity, it's a connection. And so thank you, Judy, for doing these to help connect our BA community even more. Everyone in these does matter.
And I plan to do more of them. So my little BA friends out there who might be listening, I may hit you up.
Absolutely.
I asked some of them at BBC, and they kind of laughed or whatever. But yeah, everybody has, even if you've been on with the top 10, BAs on LinkedIn, maybe there's something you're doing. So I can think of a couple of people out there. So I'll be in touch. With that, thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to always have your glass at least half full. Thank you.